Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships here in Katowice, Poland. I'm your host, Jared Kale, and after an epic first series, we are ready to bring you your next matchup. So if you could put your hands together and welcome onto stage one of the best StarCraft 2 players of all time, and one of my personal favorites, MC. And his opponent, also hailing from Korea, San. And we're going to throw it back to the expert desk to give you the lowdown on what we should expect.
Thank you very much. Joined by Katowice and Apollo, fresh from the opening match. Hello, gents.
Hello.
Welcome to the Analyst desk. Going to get straight into this one in the map veto, and then we'll talk a little bit about the two players. Map-wise, interesting map vetoes in the first one. Are we going to get some fun ones this time around?
Well, PvP's like, it depends. It's like very, very stylistic depending on what happens. Map vetoes aren't the hugest of deals here. It's just basically a basic preference. Maybe we'll see Ultrazeem Stronghold disappear. Well, we do instantly. Because it can be a little bit very volatile in PvP, more so than the other maps, I feel.
Sean?
Yeah, it really depends on your play style, how you want to play. Do you want to play a fast, aggressive game? Do you have specific builds on specific maps? And I think for me, it's more important which order they come in the like 1 to 5, rather than which map they get rid of.
So we lost heavy rain from that one as well. Not a massive surprise, I suppose. I think we saw some interesting tactics from Hyun and from Hero with the map choice order the first time round. They had a specific game plan in mind, it seemed, all the way through. Same again.
Well, I think with this was San's pick first. Habitation Station is an interesting one because of how we normally see MC open up on Habitation Station. Always normally very aggressive, very chrono boosting out, Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core, trying to get over there. San probably knows that, and he's probably going to be playing just to be able to kind of keep an eye on something like that would actually happen in the end.
One of the biggest points in PvP is a lot about the mind games. So compared to the other matchups that we have, there's a lot of, I'm going to kind of play this style and adjust throughout. But this is much more about the first map, what happens from either side and how they adapt to each other. Mind games is such a big part in Protoss versus Protoss. Because of the advantages that you can gain and almost lose in the opening builds, that can play a big factor in the pace of the game in each map that develops.
Okay, let's talk about the two players. We know an awful lot about this young man, and he is still a young man, incredibly. He seems to have been around for about 10 years, and he's still only 22. Winner of more than $400,000 US, the leading man in StarCraft 2 history, of course, and a man who has already been the 2012 Intel Extreme Masters World Champion. Let's take a look back at MC's ride through Season 8. He is the Boss Toss MC!
Start lifting, but he blinks forward to bring down the Void Ray, and that's a lot of the damage left out here as 14 Stalkers now rip apart the probes as well as the remaining units. There you go, GG!
It's not enough for me warm up, so can I warm up now?
Well, MC never fails to impress. Going to make it to the $100,000 winner-takes-all tournament at the World Championship of the Intel Extreme Masters. And you can see on your screen Jack G about to type GG. There it is, GG!
MC will jump on every single minor opportunity he sees to win that game.
So, if you weren't already aware, that was MC's Season 8 in the Intel Extreme Masters. We already said he is well known as the Boss Toss, #1 player in the world for the money. He's always important. But this man, the challenger, has also had a very good run recently, the 23-year-old from Yo Flash Wolves. I do love that name as well. Also Protoss, of course. Great start to the year with the Asus ROG win. He also second, of course, last year in the Intel Extreme Masters in Singapore to CJ Enters Hero, the only player that he kind of came undone against. Sean, how do you rate San against MC?
San, if I remember correctly, I predicted MC to win, and I asked myself that question. I'm like, did I? Yes, I did. San comes into this, I think, is even with a slight advantage. Okay. San is very good in PvP. I think he displayed that in the Asus ROG tournament that he played. He went through everybody, all the Protoss players, and made it look like nothing on his way to victory. And he's going to come into this series. But the one thing I think that he will suffer compared to MC is experience on the highest caliber stage there is. And there isn't anything bigger than this in StarCraft 2. So I wonder if that can be a weakness of his today, which MC will thrive on. Okay, very interesting thoughts. We'll find out how San goes up against MC fairly shortly. But first, let's take a look back at San's Season 8, because he's had a very good one too. Here's Mr. San.
San is actually ripping Hydra apart here in game number 1.
It's amazing that worked. He had 3 Nexus, 2 tech paths, he had like 3 gateways. Just makes him zealots and sends him and wins the game.
Wow, GG for game number 1. They don't die, they are immortal. They are holding this on, holding it strong. Hydra is done. GG, 3-0 goes to San. 2 Protoss remain here to battle it out for that championship. San, once again, performing very, very well here in game number 1. Another Immortal will end up dying off. Great control from Hero, but it doesn't matter. As San kills all the Stalkers off, he's killed the natural. GG.
So, San from You Flash Wolves. I just keep saying it.
I know you do.
And MC, you guys have been putting your neck on the line. You were right in the first match with your pick for Hero. There was just Todd going out on a limb to be different. And he was trying my trick, I think, from BlizzCon. Innovation versus Duck Duck. Yeah, that's a Duck Duck win. But yeah, he fell short on that one. But we've been having community predictions as well. If you'd like to join in on those, do go to facebook.com/IEM and you can vote on every match that we have coming up. Right now, there is a hugely popularity vote going on because MC right now has a 64-36 lead in popularity. I'm saying popularity, Sean, because he's a massively popular player here in Europe.
Who doesn't love MC? Is there anyone out there that says, you know what, I just don't like MC? I don't really think there is that guy. And MC is lovable. People want him to win. He's capable of winning. He's done it before. And the funny thing is about MC is he's had a very difficult time in the last year or so. I mean, if you think about his last win, that's even further than that.
Yeah, well, almost 2 years ago to the day, in fact.
That's crazy, isn't it? That's so long for a player like MC. But what really strikes out for me with MC, if you compare MC's kind of growth in results and then compare it to Shanghai, the beginning of the Intel Extreme Masters, he got a top 4. And everyone's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You got a top 4? You back? Because he was struggling then. He was hardly breaking top 16. He wasn't playing a lot. And then if you fast forward to Sao Paulo, top 2. So you got to think he is playing very well again. He's performing well in WCS, and I'm expecting a lot from him today. He wants to win. He knows he can.
Plans are almost ready, I'm hearing. So let's just check in with the caster predictions as well. I know you don't want to see this, but let's have a look at them anyway, because I want to see what you guys have put. I haven't seen these yet. So MC for Apollo, San for Kalaris, interesting. San for Artosis, In Control and Ret, and Todd has gone out on the limb with MC. And the viewers, obviously, the popularity vote, we've also said MC. So Todd and Kalaris, Todd and Apollo going with MC.
You know, me and Todd are really smart, so it's a great pick. And you know, we're one with the community, so it makes perfect sense.
Gone for the community. Kalaris, from your point of view, I know that you were a big fan of San.
Yeah, he's pretty darn good. He had a little bit of a rocky position when it came to Intel Extreme Masters Cologne in the open bracket, which didn't really fare him out too well, but I think coming to this tournament and him being able to execute PvP so well, and him knowing that the tournament was so PvP stacked in general, or potentially could be, he'll have prepared very, very well for this matchup.
Okay, thanks very much, gents. We'll catch up with you at the end of the match now. Time to hand you over to the commentary team for our second match in the round of the 16. It is the king and queen of PvP.
That's right. I'm the king of PvP. You are the queen of PvP.
You want to play a best of 5 or something?
Let's do it. I know how to make oracles. All right,
There's no cards in PvP, man, to save you.
Oh, no. That would be really hard for me. Well, so let's take a look at this matchup real quick, right? San versus MC. We know that they've played against each other before. We were actually talking while these guys were talking about just how long these guys have been around. They were both in the very first season of GSL, which was like the first really big tournament. That was 2010 in October. They were both there, and they are still here, and they have just won more and more and gotten so much better since back then.
They've been Codes regulars for a very, very long time. Now it's a different situation. San is kind of exiled. He moved to Taiwan. He still takes part in a lot of tournaments overseas. He travels a lot, and he's been doing well very often, but he had disappointing results these days. He didn't make it out of the open bracket in Cologne, actually losing to MC there.
That's right. So you seem to think that MC is going to take this, Todd.
Well, yeah, it's MC, man. He's the highest earning player in the game.
He is indeed, but San's PvP is just so deadly.
Then why did he lose to MC last time?
Well, because MC's really good. What? That's an obvious question, Todd. What kind of a... Come on now. All right.
It's interesting that they start on this map, because last time that they played, they didn't even play on this map.
Well, I guess we're in for a treat. Something new. Looks like the game is starting. So we're going to get in here. The first map, of course, Habitation Station. And here we go. In the top left, the winningest player in StarCraft 2's history. Make some noise for MC. And in the top right, Zenith No More. It is Yoi Flashwolf San.
That was good.
Thank you.
I like that.
So I always think of San Zenith.
I actually remember a very, very old game these two guys played a long time ago on Taldarim. It was like 4-gate versus 4-gate, where MC just rolls San completely. Yeah. And pretty deep into GSL Codes too.
Yeah.
But now, here on Habitation Station, the metagame has changed a lot. Oh, wow. We had a very quick gateway, by the way, here out of San.
Oh, that's right.
Much quicker than MC's. Last time that they played, we had some very aggressive build out of San. I think it was on Frost, where he went for the gate 10 into 3 gateways. The thing is, MC is doing a lot of scouting early on in PvP right now, and it's working out very well for him, because he's able to read what he's up against, and he adapts so well. And I think in this game, it's going to be no different. He's going to scout early on, he's going to see what he's up against. And then, as I say that, he goes back.
Yeah.
This is pro.
Well, you know what? When you send out a probe that early and check the naturals, sometimes you send it home for those extra minerals. Yeah. So he's going to actually be doing something that would be weak to proxy gate zealots, but strong against regular builds. So he could be in some trouble here.
Are you one of those protosses that don't scout often, like more often?
Oh no, I scout every time,
really?
Without any fail. Because
that's actually really abusable, you know that?
Yes, I do know that, but I play on the ladder, so they don't know which barcode I am.
All right. Very quick 3+3 here by San. You think he goes for like a very quick target from there?
Oh my god, yeah, he might. That's definitely a possibility to try to get an Oracle in there extra fast. Yes. But you know what? If MC is going for a Stargate as well, that could be a problem going for an Oracle because of how quickly you could get Phoenixes out.
Look how much earlier this cybernetic score of San is, though. It's just finished now. Oh, he's going for a very quick Mothership Core. So this is going to allow him to get possibly a good scout, and then from there, again, decide what he wants to go into. He gets a Stalker with that, so not going to be some kind of, I guess you could say, gamble, risky build where you skip a lot of units to get a very... And MC is the one with the quicker Stargate here, or at least with the Stargate early on. And by the way, San didn't even scout for proxy in his natural.
Well, I guess when you're going for such a quick gateway, you're going to be pretty safe against a lot of proxy stuff. Yeah. And he's actually going to find the Stargate very quickly.
By the way, he could not reveal that he has spotted the Stargates if he reacts on time, and that will be huge, because then you just get your own Phoenixes, you hope that your opponent gets an Oracle. But in this case, Twilight Council goes down for San, and a great piece of information here that he's going to be able to get early on in this game.
Well, looks like he's going to go ahead and see, and in fact show off that he has a super fast Mothership Core here, getting into his opponent's base before his is even there.
Yeah, this Mothership Core shouldn't be able to get too many kills. This is not me playing. I'd lose like 3 probes here, I think. You know how hard it is to micro them away from that mothership core? You need to pull them after the first hit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but he does a great job of it, and, well, he'll damage that quite a bit.
Sans sending a probe around the map, scouting for proxies.
Is he?
It's a bit weird.
Huh. Yeah, maybe. I wonder what this probe is all about.
Yeah, I thought he was thinking about maybe going for a Dark Shrine out on the map because he has the Twilight back at home, but he started Blink now. And he's getting an additional gateway. Wouldn't be surprised if we see one more. Yes, there it goes down. Oh, maybe he might go for the Dark Shrine anyway. Where's this probe going?
You know, I don't think it is. I think he's just having a probe out there so that he can warp things in very, very quickly. And maybe check to see what the timing of the natural is for MC.
Good points, and that Phoenix not gonna spot that probe in that corner over here. Oh, he's gonna proxy a pylon now already.
I actually really like this play because you know that your opponent has to be really map aware with those Phoenixes and stay on top of where your stalkers are, so that pylon is not gonna be dealt with.
And Sam's actually getting into the natural of his opponent, making sure it's not started just yet. MC's playing it safe, double gateway behind this, no kind of greedy, super fast robo or a very quick base. I wonder if Sen commits, like how much he commits to this. Oh, the Mothership Core's gonna die. This is a big deal. I think ideally here, he definitely wants to attack. He's getting Blink, he's getting a proxy pylon. What you wanna do is wait until your Mothership Core has enough energy for a photon overcharge and then move out. So that if those Phoenixes flying to your base, you have that to defend. But in this case, he has a choice. Does he remake the Mothership Core or does he fully commit to this Stalker aggression, in which case he could lose probes and then be defended from the Phoenixes?
I think he's going to just fully commit because, you know what? He's still making Stalkers and he's got 20 probes on his main minerals. So he can afford to lose a few and still get this attack off.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's starting to warp in a lot of Stalkers across the map. The Walker count is equal, but as soon as San leaves his base, look at how much energy there is on those Phoenixes. I think 6 probes will die basically immediately.
Quite a few lifts, but he does blink in right now and starts attacking the units here of MC. Not a whole lot at home to hold on.
Yeah, I'm surprised MC is actually chasing this. He should realize he's up against Blink.
Yeah, he really should go up the ramp right there. You know, that's where the Sentry and Zealots are actually going to help out quite a bit more. Now, the Phoenixes do come home and spot everything, but with MC already making it immortal, I don't think that Sun is going to be able to break him, especially with this much energy on his Mothership Core.
Unless MC completely messes up. I don't really expect him to, though.
No, generally not. He's definitely one of the best players at executing any sort of micro.
San, he's in an awkward position here. He's getting a robo, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes into an expansion from there. With, I guess, what you could call a delayed expansion from both of these players. He's doing a lockdown. You think, oh, he goes for sentries. Yeah, I was wondering. The good old lockdown, man.
Yeah, well, this is a very strong strategy for him because he knows that MC doesn't have Blink. He knows that, you know, doing something like a Warp Prism is a little bit risky. So all he has to watch out for is those Phoenixes for harassment until it's time to turn around and go home.
Yeah, MC, I think, though, he's going to be able to realize very, very quickly what he's up against. And if he went for a move like picking up those sentries that are down the ramp and an attack, it's going to be hard for San to make sure he can force field on time. Oh, one of the Phoenixes die here.
A little bit sloppy, but still, you know, he's overproduced probes enough that he's still got a very solid economy at home, and these Phoenixes haven't made a big enough difference yet.
Yeah, the Walker count is very even, 26 to 25 right now. MC, he has an army lead, but how does he go down the ramp? His only chance is to pick up. Do you think he goes for it? Look at the Phoenix placement. I think he's going to go for it.
He's just going to go and lift up these sentries, perhaps, and in fact, try to snipe them off. You can snipe them very quickly, as they are light units, but he loses another Phoenix there.
Yeah, and behind his San, he's getting an Observer. He's going to be getting some Immortals, I'm pretty sure. He needs some sentries, though.
MC is really gambling here, trying to push down the ramp against this unit composition.
Oh, pick up on the sentry. There is 2 of them that have energy. Another one. He gets the force field, but some units can go down.
Well, some can, but he definitely has enough Blink Stalkers to deal with just these few units. The thing is, he is starting to take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Nice time warp there.
Man, those boss force fields. Zealots alone and some sentries with Guardian Shield are like, boss units what?
Well, it looks like MC finally going to go ahead and start his Nexus, but it is so much later than Sans here. What does MC have to do, Todd, to get back in this?
Chrono boosts a lot of probes, which he's doing. And as soon as he gets that base, he can just transfer a lot of units. And I have to say, I don't like the transition here. He's getting a Twilight Council. We know how good he is with Blink, but a Robo Bay would have felt so much better in my opinion in this situation. Then again, a lot of players, they have had a lot of success recently with Charge Lots, Immortal, and Archon composition. But in this case, MC getting a Twilight, you have to wonder, is it for blink, or do you think he goes for charge?
I think he goes for charge. If you look at how many Zealots he has already,
yeah,
for him to go into blink while having this many Zealots, it just doesn't seem right.
MC getting charge over blink doesn't seem right as well, but in this case, you're right. He already has a lot of Zealots. Both of them getting a Forge, with MC having his a little bit earlier. You see starts +1 very, very quickly. And yeah, he's survived this. He's actually got a supply lead. So even though he's behind on walkers, he's still in this. Charge is going to start for him. And the gases being taken earlier on Sand's expansion are could have a big impact on this game.
Especially since he's like 7 or 8 probes up at the moment. That's really going to give him a huge boost in economy.
Yeah, right now it feels like Sand is the one with the initiative and the economy. MC has an army lead, a supply lead in army, but he cannot exploit it, and he's getting thinner and thinner as time passes by. Sand is going to catch up. So the game is going to stabilize for now, and I wouldn't be surprised if yeah, there we go. Templar Archive goes down for Sand. Should be seeing the same from MC. I don't think you ever go charge plus Colossus unless you want to lose.
Yeah, no, I've
tried that.
Doubt that. That's a little bit weird. I don't think we're going to be seeing it, and he has taken his natural gases, so he will have enough to make some of those Templars.
The building placement is pretty cool from Sand. He has like his Forge next to his Robo. That makes it so much easier to chrono boost both of them. Actually, just go there and you press it.
That's right. that's how you chrono boost things. It's a pretty sick move. You get to get your upgrade a lot quicker, and you're immortal as well.
What about this move, taking the golds?
Oh, wow.
This is actually as good as it is if you're able to pull it off. It's actually really, really hard to pull it off, because a lot of players, they're going to see it. They're like, you know what? I'm just going to move there and make you take a really, really bad fight, because it's very hard to take a good fight near that gold base, especially if your opponent just drops down some units up there. Then again, the Nexus is probably going to finish before an engagement happens, and there's going to be Photon Overcharge ready. So Sand, I like this move. Against Colossus, I wouldn't have liked it, because then you take the Watchtower and you shoot down the probes.
I agree with you completely here, and in fact, I do want to point out what I really like about San's play here is he took his probe lead in his quicker second Nexus, got those fast gases, and delayed charge to get Archons out quicker, which is better for the defensive move of taking this gold base against charge lots.
The gateway explosion is happening a little bit later for Sand here. If MC transforms this into more supply, he could go for an attack on the gold, but I think he's just going to go for his own third base. He actually doesn't know about the gold just yet. MC hasn't been doing too much scouting. You see, he has only 2 sentries, so that's not that many hallucinations.
That's right. He's got to be very careful about how he uses that energy, but he needs to get this scout on. And the thing is, even if he scouts the gold right now, I feel like there is no timing to attack it. There's no way for him to get a good engagement at the moment.
And the Stalkers, they want to do some work. That's for sure. 3 walkers more for Sand, and the income, man, because of the gold, is actually quite good. And MC is moving across the map. He doesn't know about the gold still. This is really weird.
Well, does he have enough to actually break through here? He actually has quite a few charge lots right now. A pretty decent amount of Zealots as well for San.
The thing is, he doesn't have a pylon across the map. So with reinforcements, Sand should be able to hold this. But Sand is much more heavy on Stalkers, and they are not going to do much in this fight.
No, they aren't, but that is a very nice time warp indeed. And some of these time warps not mattering that much, but really good ones on the part of San. Can he actually end up holding, though? Looks like the army supply going pretty drastically into San's favor, but he's got to be careful. There's a lot of Immortals left, and he still has a very Stalker-heavy army.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any pylons nearby, I think MC is just going to have to go back here. San might go on the chase. No, I don't think he's going to. He lost his Mothership Core, didn't he? Yeah, he did. We're making it now. And this was the position where he could not use Photon Overcharge. Would have been too far away, so he used the time warp, and the hold was good enough. And at this point, both players, they have +2. They have choices to make. Do they go into more gateways? And look at this. MC is making quite a few extra gateways.
I really like this choice. You know, San has to stay out in the front to guard this gold base. So MC is grabbing a Warp Prism and extra gates. This is going to allow him to really split up the army of San.
And San is taking a lot of time to add extra gateways. When you take the gold, you need to make 4 gateways in advance before you start mining on it to make sure you can keep up. I actually think San is going to start getting a lot of money here very soon, even if he chrono boosts out his gateways. He has so few gateways for his income.
Well, it looks like he wants to get an attack on right now. He's actually moving in towards the natural, making MC run back, but MC does have this Warp Prism, so San could be punished.
there was an observer just over there, so he actually...
Did he see it, though?
Oh, he's not paying attention.
Oh, and
he's going to come into the attack.
Here we go. His charge lot's moving forward right now. He's already picked off most of the important units and already getting down on top of MC's Immortals. It looks like San is going to be able to take this first game.
Yeah, 76 army supply to 33.
GG. That was very well done by San, I have to say.
Is there any reference to your prediction here, or?
Well, that was well done by Artosis as well to predict that San would, in fact, beat MC. Because, I mean, if you look at that game, right, that was kind of a cool strategy. It's not one that I've exactly seen before, where you get the very quick gateway just to get a really great Mothership Core scout off. But it was really effective because he saw what his opponent was doing. He went for a counter strategy, and it really ended up paying off. He got his expansion up so much quicker and never looked back.
It was very risky, I feel, though. And a lot of things went his way, like small details. Like, for example, the Stargate placement. Imagine if the Stargate of MC is in the back of his mineral line. Like, you have to take a lot more damage, possibly lose your Mothership Core to see it. It's a very difficult position. And then being able to open with Blink against the Stargates, it's not a build or a win, but it's a nice small lead that you can get early on. And San, he exploited that lead well enough to be able to secure himself the first win here.
That was actually my favorite part, is he knew exactly what to do from the point of getting up a quicker Nexus. Like, he contains MC to make sure his Nexus is as slow as possible. He grabs his additional gases. He goes for Archons, knowing that MC on such a gas-heavy build has to make extra Zealots, and that allows him to take a quick gold and just overwhelm MC. I thought it was just brilliant from start to finish from San.
The opener is actually, it's funny that he went for that, because MC, he's known to go for big aggressions on this map, to go for Zealots, Mothership Core, and Stalker Pressure against, in which case, San here, he had a decent build. He got the quick Mothership Core, but he didn't get the Zealot, I think. He wouldn't have had enough on the ground.
But when the first attack came, I think he would have had a Stalker and a Mothership Core against a Mothership Core flying across the map, as well as a Zealot and a Stalker already over there. So I actually really like it. I'm a fan of that build that I just saw. Well, our next map going to be Daedalus Point.
A good Blink map.
A good Blink map indeed.
A map on which they actually played last time against each other in Cologne.
All right, well, who won that one, Todd?
That one map was won by MC. It was map 3. He won 2-1. And it was actually Blink against Blink, but after MC had opened Stargate. And this was funny. He opened Stargate, made 2 oracles, and then went into Blink.
Awesome. Can't wait to see if he does that again. Well, up here in the top left of Daedalus Point, he's proxying something. It is MC. And down in the bottom right, he is getting proxied. It is Yoey Flashwolf San.
And I feel like there is almost no chance San's gonna scout this, because he didn't scout it for it in the previous map. Now on Daedalus, he has so much space to cover. It really feels like right now San, he wants to be kind of greedy, you know, he doesn't want to go out of his way to try and see if there is this kind of proxy, basically. He might scout in base proxies after he throws down his gateway, which is going to be a gateway 13. And this is a 1 gateway proxy, which I'm quite familiar with. You know, when I went to Sao Paulo, when I didn't have to do analysis or cast, I actually played games, but I didn't have much time, so I proxied every single game. Hello Kitty was watching me. He became my biggest fan. I actually proxied a guy on Entomb Valley and won in the middle of the map.
Wow.
So this is the 1 gateway you get 2 or 3 Zealots out from, and you try and kill probes, basically. And in the meantime, you take gas back at home, you get your cybernetic score, and then you just go into a normal game. But you're going to be ahead on walkers most of the time by killing probes of your opponents. And this is so greatly placed, by the way, those buildings of MC. Even if San had scouted across the map, he wouldn't have seen those buildings, because he would have gone straight to the left after going down the ramp.
Indeed, but do you like where the pylon is? It seems like it's a little bit
weird, I have to
kill,
say.
right?
And easier to see, too.
Yeah.
I have to say,
that kind of feels like a wonky placement on that, even though they are definitely to the right.
Oh, he's guarding. I don't think he's going to see
I doubt he's going to check out his third base.
And this is, MC is very fortunate for him that he's waiting for 2 Zealots, because San is keeping his Zealot. This kind of feels like a build order win. Like he's gonna do so much damage, I think, from this.
Yeah, especially with this third Zealot that he's chrono boosting out right now. This is gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's 16 walkers for MC, 20 for San. He has to kill, I would say, at least 6 probes to make sure this is well worth it. And I think he might kill even more than that. There is not a single unit right now on the map.
Nothing even started at the moment, and these Zealots do get right into this mineral line. This is going to be really tough for San to hold on.
Oh, I love the choice.
Oh,
instead of chasing the probes, he's going to go down to attack that pylon. It doesn't matter. Even if he gets surrounded, he has 2 Zealots there, plus a third one on the way. He might get the pylon and then go again to attack the probes.
Well,
he's forcing the fight.
So far by San, actually. He's really not lost anything yet, and it looks like he will end up killing off these Zealots with minimal losses.
Oh, does he get the pylon? He's gonna get it, but not many kills. 5 kills on those probes. So much for my 6 prediction, or that I thought he needed to get.
Well, that was for well worth it. Was this worth it, though? Killing the pylon as well, unpowering this gateway, and he does have a Stalker on the way.
Yes, the thing is, I was gonna say the tech is gonna be slower for MC, but the warp gate is actually not researching for San here for quite some time. It took a lot of time to restart that pylon. That's going to be a big problem. MC is actually ahead on warp gate. If MC goes for extra gateways, which he is right now, he could finish off his opponents.
Yeah, he may be able to. He's going right up to 3 gates just in the nick of time here. Now, he is continuing to try to pressure, but San should hold on for now, and I think it's smarter for MC to hold on because he is going for a 4 gate.
Yeah, the thing is, Photon Overcharge is going to be ready, but San, he needs enough gateways to get enough units to defend against this. If he's like mining a lot from the gas and goes for a Stargate, he's just gonna die.
Does he have a stuck Stalker right now in the back of his base?
Oh my god.
There's just no way,
You know
right?
it's possible maybe to unblock it? If he sends like a probe and makes a pylon in the corner, like push it. I don't think so, no.
This isn't StarCraft 1. The AI is a bit better than that.
Why does it say he has 2 Stalkers queued in that gateway, by the way?
I don't know. This is kind of a wild situation that's going on right now. Now, see,
San broke the game.
MC is trying to bait out anything he can right now. If he can get a probe kill or damage a Stalker, or even possibly force a Nexus cannon.
Oh yeah, I think he's definitely going to force it. It's fortunate for San that he threw down the extra gateways. I think MC pressuring as much as he did here maybe was a mistake, because he kind of gave it away. Like San has to be thinking, well, there's this many units down his run. Now he sees a probe up there too. He's like, well, probably a 3 gates or 4 gates headed my way. Gonna have to be careful, but the walker counts. San is falling quite far behind. Having lost 6 probes, he's actually quite a few probes behind. 3 probes.
Yeah,
let's not do math on stream.
3 probes back at the moment. In fact, even has one kind of not mining up there at the top, spotting a little bit.
Cancel the Twilight. I like this choice. He had to.
That's actually really good that he did that. He cannot afford to try to get Blink right now. In fact, the only thing he can afford is trying to just stay alive. Wow, the supply differential just so crazy right now.
San was actually just supply blocked for a moment. This is not what you want. Oh, he's warping in sentries. You don't need sentries against this. You only need a lot of Stalkers and a few Zealots to help tank. This is going to be almost impossible for San to hold here.
Yeah, I cannot imagine it. Now, there are a lot of Zealots here for MC, so the sentries will help out a little bit here at the beginning. But, MC just doing this perfectly right now, sitting back, not overcommitting.
If he was overeager here and got in there and got force-fielded, maybe he could have lost, but he's just going for the Nexus. He's basically going to force San to move out and fight this. San cannot wait anymore. He has to go for the fight, and MC steps in with the Zealots.
Well, he's just right-clicking on that Nexus right now. Some good force fields going down, preventing him from doing so, but this is too much damage. San already knows it, and this is defeat. GG. So MC taking game number 2. And I gotta say, that was very well done, this triple Zealot pressure. Do you normally like to do it with the 3 Zealots or the 2 Zealots? Because I've seen both ways.
Personally, I like to send 1 Zealot directly and try and do some damage.
Really?
Yeah, but then again, I'm a noob. The upside of this is that...
What did Hello Kitty say about it?
He doesn't know the first thing about proxies, so it doesn't matter what he would have said about it. No, he said my proxies were impressive and I was his inspiration.
Sick.
I think there are upsides and downsides. The thing is, you're at risk if you do what MC did here. If San had done a little bit less greedy of a build, let's say, for example, if he hadn't skipped the Zealots, he would have been able to hold this a lot better. Like, he wouldn't have lost the pilot. And keep in mind, that Stalker from the gateway did not come out. It was like 99% of its completion, which would have changed a lot as well.
Yeah.
And then because of this, I actually think the Stalker was misstrated because of all this action too.
Yeah, no,
he had to remake
no
the pylon and he couldn't come out on the right side. The Stalker was stuck. It was just An absolute disaster of a start here by San.
Everything fell apart for him. Do you think that this is going to affect his mentality moving forward into this third map?
I think he's too good to let this affect him too much.
He's kind of laughing
smiling.
right now.
They're talking about it a little bit.
Oh,
my Korean's not that good. How's your Korean? You've been there for a while.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not going to try to translate this chat on the fly, though. Thank you very much, Todd.
I love to put you on the spot.
Yeah, thank you. I'm used to it. So the next map, Polar Night. What do you like to see here in PvP?
Some blink play. And you know what? Last time that they played on Polar Night as a second map. And it was Blink against Blink. And guess who won?
I would say San won that.
You're smart. He did win that.
Pretty sure I watched that series, so I may have cheated there.
I take that back. You have good memory.
All right, well, here we go. The countdown has begun. It's going to be San against MC, tied up 1-1 at the moment. Will they both open Blink, and will San win again?
The good thing about MC is that he scouts very early on in a lot of these PvP games, so he's able to adapt from there. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that here. Does he scout much earlier than his opponents? And what does he see, too?
We'll get right into this game and check that right out.
I love that we're showing those players Twitter. Do follow them.
That's right. Some joke about Liquid Red. Okay, up in the top center of this map, the boss toss himself. Give it up for MC. And down in the bottom center, he might be the underdog, but he is a strong Protoss. Make some noise for Yoey Flashwolf San.
I really feel like right now in PvP it's very important to scout a lot. And a lot of players, they still skip it early on. And if you look at the first two games, San was the one to scout first with his Mothership Core in the first game. He won. Second game, MC scouted by doing a proxy and sending him to
Does
Zealots.
that count as a scout?
Yes, it does.
So what was the scout though? Was it the Zealots?
Yes.
Because they got into his base a similar time that the probe from San got into MC's base. So I'm not buying that as a scout.
Yeah, but he's shown more initiative.
Okay, he did show no initiative. That's true, but we can't actually call that a proxy gate a scout, I don't think.
All right. So I'll give you that one.
Unless his opponent is proxy gating in the same place, which wouldn't be a very good proxy gate at all.
Yes. The last time that they played on this map, San was actually the one who scouted earlier. He ended up winning. And they both opened very, very standard. They went for a Stalker, Mothership Core, then threw down the Twilight Council. And I think San even got his Mothership Core into his opponent's base last time against MC on this map. He was able to see 2 gateways plus the Twilight researching Blink, so he knew exactly what he was up against. That's why he got a nice lead early on. Now in this game, they definitely remember what happened last time.
Yeah.
They're pro gamers, man. They're some of the best. Do they go into something similar, and how does it turn out? That's going to be what I'm wondering the most about.
That is
actually, no quick scout from either.
No, this is kind of a delayed scout here. It looks like after core there from San, whereas MC deciding, no, he doesn't really need to check out what's going on in San's base. So, I mean, would you agree with G.I. Joe in this matchup at least, that knowing is half the battle?
Yes, I guess I would.
Yeah, so...
G.I. Joe would have been a 6 StarCraft player.
Yeah, he would. He'd be scouting everywhere. That's actually basically what CJ Hero is.
CJ Hero is G.I. Joe?
Yeah, he scouts every game.
So if he plays against Bolt, it's G.I. Joe against Captain America?
Oh, wow.
How conflicting is that?
That's very conflicting. 2 different universes colliding.
A single gateway for San, and he gets a sentry out of it. You think he's expanding?
Yeah, I think he is. And in fact, you know, we've seen from Korean pro gamers quite a bit of fast expanding on this map as well.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of times they'll go for sentry into a fast expansion, into an oracle, and just hold the map if their opponent goes for a 3-gate or something like that.
This is interesting here. Those players, they have been mixing it up a lot. MC, does he go for the 3rd gateway? Oh, Stargates instead. When MC opens with 2 gateways and Stalkers, you have to wonder every single time. Is he going to go for that 3rd gateway? And actually, just because he was scouted here, this might be why.
Yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense, especially since I believe on this exact map, that is what MC did against Hero in IEM.
Oh, that's what he did against a lot of Protosses and had a lot of success with. Maybe not Hero. Maybe Hero's not the right example. But I
think he actually did do it against Hero on this map, that build. Yeah, 3 gates, and challenged the expansion of Hero, if I recall correctly. But We'll see if San can hold on here. In fact, he's not going for the build that we were talking about, though.
Yeah, he's going for the same thing that he did last time that he played against MC on this map, but he hasn't sent his Mothership Core across the map to get a perfect scout against what his opponent's doing, but he's definitely going to be happy about playing with Blink against a Stargate plane, especially an Oracle, unless he moves. There is always this if, you know?
If you catch the Oracle, you're always happy. I don't care if you open with a Robo, you're going to be all right with it.
I think it's not about catching it. It's about making sure you don't lose 10 probes.
Well, that's what I mean by catching, because you don't actually catch the Oracle. It doesn't die.
But like if it's... But like if he doesn't die, as long as he doesn't do damage, it's still okay for you because you have Blink.
Exactly. And, well, he actually scouted it already. His hallucination hit it.
San, did he? Oh, he saw the expansion. He saw the expansion of MC starting, so he's going to be on 3 gateways. He's going to get a lot of Stalkers out. He's getting a 4th gateway.
Oh, man.
He's going to commit to this completely.
I really like this now. Here comes this Oracle right now. He's going to have to... Well, he has plenty of units here, actually, in the mineral line. Plus, he has that Mothership Core. The thing is, that Oracle did see 4 gateway plus Twilight.
I think this expansion has to be a cancel. I don't think he can hold. There is no way.
Have to agree with you. MC's just going to have to hold the ramp with that Robo.
Oh, he's going to get caught in the middle of the map, too. There is Stalkers on the other side of the map trying to catch the Stalkers off MC.
Well, right now there's a little bit of a scuffle going down in that natural. Looks like MC will get away.
Oh my God, this is looking really, really scary here of the situation for MC. He's still making probes too, whereas San has cut very, very early on. He's going to get so many units.
Will he actually cancel his Nexus right now? That's the question.
If he's Stubborn, man.
He has to, right?
Remember what we said about Stubborn players who keep the course? Oh, he didn't cancel the Nexus. He's still going to go with it.
Well, you know what? Hold on a second. We actually have a blink in from San, catching a couple Stalkers. But as you say, you know, MC is staying the course right now. Captain does not abandon his ship. You choose a strategy, you stay with it, Todd.
A captain goes down with his ship.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what he's doing right now.
He's not a captain, he's the president.
He is the president, but that's the captain of one big ship, one big country, Todd. And it looks like these Stalkers are going to take down that Nexus so simply. I feel like this was the wrong choice.
He could actually finish the game. Yeah, I think he's going to blink up here. Doesn't have a time warp just yet, but there's no Immortal.
He's going to catch the Immortal too. The Immortal's stuck on this side with those Stalkers, and he does pick it off. There is a Void Ray and some Zealots, so he's got to be careful still. But great damage done by San.
That Void Ray actually did a ton of damage and really helped here, but there might be too much.
It looks like it. Oh, even a nice time warp coming up. Has some Stalkers up there, and GG, MC giving up there. A little bit too stubborn, you'd say, Todd?
Definitely, yeah. I'm really, really surprised because he scouted the 4 gateways. How do you not cancel your expansion in this case? The thing is, he might have been afraid of what happened in the first game. Remember? He was up against Stalkers, he was up his ramp, he was on a Stargate tech, and then when he went into Robo, he's like, I took my expansion so much later than my opponent. I'm just going to be stubborn this time, try to use the Photon Overcharge and secure that expansion by getting a Void Ray and then Immortals. But in this case, San, he had way too much, man. This looked easy.
You know, I feel like the big problem is that the Stalkers were attacking the Nexus well in advance of it finishing.
Yes.
And when they get it that low on health, then the Nexus cannon actually isn't even going to matter. The Stalkers are going to ignore that. What you need is for the Nexus kind of finish at a high health so that the Nexus cannon kind of softens them up for your first Immortal come down. But just the timing wasn't there for MC to hold his natural.
And not only that, remember, he had units out on the map. They didn't do anything, they died. The Oracle didn't do anything at all.
Yeah.
Just flew in there, kind of.
No, did it get even one probe kill?
Not even sure.
Yeah, I don't think it did, actually. It flew in, damaged like a sentry.
The Oracle was the actual captain. It went down before its ship.
It did, indeed. No life raft for that Oracle, unfortunately. You know, this is a 2-1 lead for San right now.
It really feels like San loves Blink play right now.
He does.
It's time for MC to bring the Blink versus Blink action. This is actually how they closed out the previous series that they played. Blink versus Blink, and MC got the better end of that.
Well, he's going to have to go for that this time. Well, the thing is, it's Frost next, and I feel like Frost is a map that, while you can go for something like Blink, I'm kind of a fan of people that go for a fast expansion into Stargate play here.
Okay. The last time that they played on Frost, I know I've mentioned this already, but I'm going to go back to this. San went for a 10 gateway, and when you do a 10 gateway on Frost, you're trying to catch your opponent basically going for a fast expansion build, which you can punish. But in this case, MC was very fortunate because he went for a quick scout, and he went straight to the position at which San was. So he knew exactly what he was up against from there. He made a lot of units out of his gateway. He made the Mothership Core. He didn't start any Nexus. He made sure he was safe before later on expanding, and he secured himself a game. So this could be a very different game that we see here. But again, we have to keep that game in our mind, because I'm sure it's on the mind of these players, what happened before. And what they're going to choose to do here is going to be affected by that.
A lot of mind games going on. We'll have to see, does MC scout whatever San is up to, and vice versa? This is it for MC. He has to win this game or he's going home.
By the way, San scouted earlier in the previous game and he won.
That's it, man. You have to scout. It's important to see what your opponent is doing.
I found out what PvP is all about.
Yeah. Well, that's
G.I. Joe, man.
Down in the bottom left of our map, the player that's only quote-unquote scouted first one time, according to Todd, it is MC. And in the top right, he's leading 2-1. Make some noise for Yoi Flashwolf San.
So both of these players, they have queued a few probes after their pylon, so we're not going to see any kind of gateway 10 shenanigans. And well, it's good news. I want to see a longer game, man. We've seen very quick games out of these two. The first one was semi long, but the next two games very, very aggressive. A lot of aggression coming out of these players. They adapt very, very well. This is the new generation PvP we're seeing here. You scout a lot, you find weaknesses if in your opponent's build. If you have a better opening, you try to exploit that as much as possible. You never lay back on your advantage. When you're ahead, you get more ahead through aggression.
Yeah, that's, well, normally I like pulling back for that, but aggression can definitely do it as well, as these guys have shown us. Now, we do have the first scout coming out from MC. Not going across the map first, of course. We don't see that too often. But he'll be there second, whereas San's still not sending out any probes.
Is the trend going to continue? Is the player who scouts first going to win? They like send scouts like from one of the first probes in the next game.
You know, it's true. The thing is, if he gets up here and scouts and decides, oh, okay, it looks like San's going for a fast expand, MC can go for a fast expand and cut more corners, you know, get less defense, maybe go straight into the start gate and not get a sentry or something like that.
Very good points.
So the scouting first, it makes a lot of sense here, why the player could be winning because of it.
And you don't lose that much money too.
No, not
just
too
like
much.
a few minerals, which to some players, like Sase or Naniwa, means the world. And they will never scout.
Everything.
Someone
like
get 30
Artosis,
minerals,
I'll scout on 9. I just want to know what they're doing. I hate dying, not knowing what's going on. All right, so he does get this first scout off. And
second gateway for MC.
Second gate.
You think, after what he saw, like he's going to see there is a Mothership Core on the way, there is a unit being made from the gateway, he might realize this is some kind of sentry plus Mothership Core build. Does he go for the third gateway and make sure there's no expansion going down? In which case, if you get the Stargates, you're good against everything.
Yeah, that's true. He actually might end up doing that here, because it kind of does feel like that's a sentry being made, I have to say, so...
Oh, by the way, because of that late scout of San, he's going to have to get out of here very, very quickly in MC space. He's going to see the two gateways, but Stalker's about to come out. Look, he's been rallied on the probe. Losing that probe here is kind of annoying. You never want this to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, this is going to actually make MC feel really, really nice, because he's going to know there's no other probe on the map right now, for sure.
You think third gateway?
I don't know. I guess so, yeah. And in fact, we're going to see an additional gateway going up here by San as well, even grabbing his Twilight.
Yeah, third gateway, so MC is going to do his classic pressure. He actually has a probe behind him in online. Is this going to be spotted? It is spotted, so that's going to be a cancel. So he's actually a pylon across the map to do this. This is pretty good for San. And San also reacted very well to what he saw. He saw the double gateway. He's like, I know what you're going to do. You're at least going to pressure with those Stalkers. I'm going to get my own gateways plus the Twilight Council, which I've just beat you twice with.
Well, you know what? It's Stalkers with Blink beat Stalkers without. So if he can just stay alive till then, which it really looks like he will, he's going to be fine. But will MC actually commit now that San knows?
I'm actually shocked that San didn't move down the ramp and get a cancel or kill on a pylon. Oh, he's going to have to force kill on time. A single Stalker is going to be picked off here.
You know what? He might want MC to go through with this, just because when MC's committed a lot to Stalkers and then San is committed a lot to Stalkers, but he also has Blink, that's going to be an easy win.
Yeah, look how late the tech of MC is going to be. He starts the Robo now, and we have Blink, basically a third research here.
Worst case scenario for San here, he gets another nice contain at the bottom of the ramp off, and gets his Nexus up quicker.
Oh, yes. Where did that probe come from? He sent another probe out on the map.
I'm not sure when he snuck that out there.
Yeah. He must have been very early. I did not see that leave the base. He sneaked through, man. Well, just like Apollo. He's traveling here.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He's actually sending out all of his units right now, and MC seems to know exactly what's going on. So MC is going to be stuck in his base again. What does he do different this time to make sure that San can't just steamroll him from here?
He has a few choices. When you're in this situation, you can go for a quick Robo Bay, get a Colossus to be able to get out and then expand, or you can get a War Prism and basically counter-attack. But in this case, it wouldn't be good because San has left his Mothership Core across the map. And San is committing a lot to this, by the way.
Yeah, he's sending quite a few stalkers.
MC needs to make sure he doesn't underestimate this attack. And his supply block right now, his Immortal is going to start late. There's going to be so many stalkers possibly attacking him in a second, but because the Mothership Core is not there, he cannot see up the ramp to blink there. Oh, MC is moving down the ramp. What is happening?
Well, he's actually moving down because he has a lot of stalkers right now as well.
He has a lot of Guardian Shields. Oh, wow, no more.
Well, with those blinks, you can really tell that San will come out on top. So MC is just trying his best right now to hold this low ground. He doesn't want to get stuck up his ramp. He's going to use Force Fields to the best of his ability, as well as Guardian Shields. But San continues to warp in stalkers.
Yeah, I'm very skeptical about this because he doesn't have vision up the ramp that Immortal is going to be there and reinforcing, but no more Guardian Shield here for MC. The thing is, those stalkers of San, they lost a lot of shields, so right now he has to delay the aggression. And not that many more stalkers, by the way, 12 against 9. MC feels safe enough to possibly throw down an expansion. Look, he sent a probe down.
I think he's going to be completely fine here, especially with this Immortal out, and just the fact, as you've said several times here, Todd, that San has no vision up on the high ground. He can't even threaten a blink in, and that is making this defense so easy for MC.
This is so interesting what MC did. He had the 3 sentries. He's like, I'm gonna move down the ramp before he can do the lockdown on me, because I don't want that to happen. I will fall behind. He would have a much earlier expansion. So he moved down the ramp with his 3 sentries. He had the Guardian Shield, and in the end, he's able to secure an expansion nearly as fast as his opponent. He's like 25 seconds behind only.
That's right, it's nearly as fast, and he's got the Immortal count here. So his army is just straight up stronger than San's at the moment, which consists almost purely of stalkers.
Whoa, MC's moving out. Is he gonna attack with 3 Immortals? He has a 3rd one on the way. He gets the Twilight behind it, so I don't think so. But with MC, you never know. He's leaving the Mothership Core back at home, which I love from both of these players.
Well, I really like that he actually just moved out, took care of the pylon, and then went back home. Because he's going to have this expansion up in nice timing. He's getting a lot of Immortals out, and now he's even going up into his own Twilight for probably the counter blink here.
It's pretty cool that San spotted it right away. San, he's basically going to have the same choice as before from here. Does he go into Colossus, or does he go into Templars with Zealots? And a blink is going to start this time from MC because he has this many stalkers. Remember on Habitation Station, he had a lot of Zealots. It didn't really make sense. I don't even know why I even mentioned it at the time, but this time it's going to be blink.
Well, it does make sense here, and that counter blink sometimes very powerful when you have the Immortal lead. We may see him move across the map when it's done, and at that point, I feel like it's up to San to maybe do a little bit of counter harassment with his stalkers. You know, maybe blink forward to the main, try to kill some probes, and just hold on.
No gas is being taken on the expansion of MC here. Whoa. This could mean commitment. The thing is, Blink is quite far away from finishing. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's waiting for that cooldown. He's waiting to see where this army goes. And let's see what kind of damage can San get done. He actually blinks right in there and takes out the Mothership Core in a matter of seconds. Yeah. Now he's going after probes and sacrificing a lot of stalkers.
Those stalkers, they are very expendable. Later on in the big fights, when you have more than 100 supply for both players, they don't do much, especially when Colossus, Immortals come into action, come into effect. But this is going to be MC's cue to possibly all in here. Look, he hasn't taken the gases on his expansion. 3 extra gateways go down for San, but he's taking to Colossus.
You know what? I don't know that this is going to work for MC. He's adding these gates right now, sure, but right as San did that,
early.
Yeah, he added his gateways already, San did. He's making Immortals, he now has a similar Immortal count, and he's even grabbing a Colossus, which will help quash any force fields.
But without Thermal Lance, it's going to be very hard for him to fight at his expansion. The Concave is going to be very important. It's very sentry heavy for San. There is nothing that can break the force fields for MC. So MC wants to take the fight as soon as possible here. Oh, actually, is he going to force field? No.
Oh, a nice blink up there by MC. Gets away from those force fields. Well done. But with these Immortals, with these force fields, with a possible Nexus cannon, I think San's going to be able to hold this, Todd.
That cannon is like in the most awkward position ever. Force fields are gonna have to be good here. MC could actually blink up the ramp with lots of stalkers. He's gonna do that.
Oh man, he's forcing him to split his units right now, and as he splits them, will he run up for a force field on the ramp? That is a possibility here from MC, but he's not moving his army.
Oh, there we go. Stan anticipates it.
A Colossus is out at this point. MC trying to engage here from the low ground. Some great force fields going down, trapping these two Immortals. Will Sun end up holding? He is taking a big supply lead. Looks like he's pushing back these Stalkers. They do finally blink out, but Sun is looking safe. Another blink in here from MC. He does pick off that Colossus, a nice move, but right now we do have a little bit more army supply for Sun, as well as more Immortals, which is very important.
Yeah, the photon overcharge expired on the expansion. He used it in the main, plus the time warp, so this is MC can still make it here. He has to be the best blink of his life.
It does indeed. He's blinking very well. Sun actually blinking in, picking off this Immortal, but losing quite a few Stalkers. The thing is, 3 full health Immortals here left over for Sun. I don't know if Pure Blink Stalker has any possibility of getting through.
Oh, and it looks like he's going to be a 3-1 here. San has too much. MC is going to have to pull back, and how do you come back from here? It's almost impossible. San's already on Colossus tech, even though he doesn't have a single one. So it's a weird thing to say, but he could make one.
Yes, in fact, he could. And the thing is, what does MC actually have here? He did not build probes during that at all. And let's not forget, he lost 8 of them to that blink-in that San did. San forced MC into this position to do the counterattack, had the Colossus to step on force fields, had the same Immortal count. That was just beautifully orchestrated by San.
This was a brilliant move. Killing those probes. If you look at the worker count difference, or even the workers killed in this game, this was the brilliant move, which I think is going to make him advance onto the next round here. Because with the worker difference here, the army difference, there just a follow-up attack here from San. You just get Stalkers, you end it, and MC, I did not expect this. I did not expect this.
MC is like pretty dead. We see him walking around with this group of Stalkers right now. It looks like he wants to do some counter-blink aggression here. It's a little bit of harassment.
He's kind of cute.
I mean, what is he going to get done? San is going with a gigantic force. No way he's going to hold this here at his own base. Well, looks like he's going to get right in, kill the Mothership Core in a matter of seconds. These slow Zealots have absolutely no chance. In the meantime, we do have that counterattack going on, and GG, Sun going to take this series 3-1 over fan favorite MC. What do you think about that, Todd?
Man, that Arthas' curse, it's really proving to...
I think we have to call it the Todd curse at this point.
This is how this lands back on me. This was supposed to be such a safe thing, and now I'm gonna be like the one.
Don't listen to everything you read on the internet, Todd. I know my stuff. All right, so San taking a really nice victory there. I really do feel like he outplayed MC almost completely in that series. Yeah, MC got that win off a proxy gate, and that was actually very well done. It's a good build to mix into a best of 5. But if you look at, for instance, the Habitation station opening, I really like that from San. If you look at the way that he forced MC to actually counterattack him in this last game in Frost, I feel like he played MC like a flute.
Yeah, this was very solid too from San. It's not like he cheesed or he brought a new style. He just played solid blink play into whatever he thought was best. A lot of the time that was aggression. I was very skeptical about the opener of this game. I thought what MC did with moving down the ramp on time, being able to secure his expansion not too late. The thing is, that move from San, if there is to be an analysis, man, it's going to be nothing else than this, because this was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
He blinked the Stalkers up, took out a lot of probes. As I said, those blink Stalkers, they were expendable. The only moment you regret this move is when you get counter-attacked, and then you die. But in this case, the defense was good enough by San. He saw it coming very early too. He had the watchtowers.
It was so beautifully done, because he has that defender's advantage. He has the high ground to help with the concave. He had the Colossus tech, so that a force field on his ramp, if it did happen, he could step over as soon as that popped out, which was in the middle of the battle. He had the same Immortal count, which I think is the most important part of that, is that he had that same Immortal count, which is what you really need when both of you have a lot of Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, you know one way that MC could have made this work? If he only sent, he had a Stalker lead, because he sniped the ones in his main. He sent only Stalkers to the Watchtower and was like, I'm just moving out. Nothing more than that is happening. And then the army followed out of the vision, and San somehow underestimated this attack that was coming. But then again, remember what happened. He threw down the extra gateways very, very early.
You know why? He threw them down like the same time he blinked in. He knew this was going to happen. He needed the extra production.
He had foreseen, man.
Yeah.
More than G.I. Joe, he's also good at predicting the future.
So well done here by San. And speaking of San, let's go ahead, throw it up for an interview with our winner.
And I'm standing here with our winner, San. Congratulations. How confident were you coming into this tournament, and especially now having taken down one of the scariest players?
얼마나 자신 있는지, 여기 오기 전에 얼마나 자신 있었는지, 그리고 지금 민철이 선수 이기고 나서 자신이 얼마나 많은지.
처음에 대회에 올 때는 그렇게 자신이 없게 왔는데 제 천정인 민철이 이기니까 뭔가 좀 자신감이 불고 뭔가 8강에 올라갔으면 기분이 좋아야 되는데 뭔가 점점 더 지옥 속으로 가는 것 같아요.
So before he came here, he wasn't that confident about the tournament because of the people who attend. But after winning against MC, he kind of gained confidence, and he normally should be actually really happy to make it to round of 8, but it's not that. He's just trying to focus and try to do better.
And you go up next against Hero, and you seem to be a PvP specialist. How do you feel about that match? Do you think, are you the one that's going to stop him finally?
지금 다음 판 CJ 히어로랑 하는데 CJ 히어로가 2번 IEM 우승자고, 그래서 너 PvP 정말 잘하는 것 같은데 너 히어로 이길 수 자신 있는지?
저번에 싱가포르 결승에서 제가 좀 아쉽게 지긴 했는데 이번에는 그 아쉬움을 없애고 제대로 한번 해보고 싶어요.
So actually, at IEM Singapore, he lost in the finals against Hero, and it was kind of sad, and he's trying to get a revenge in the next round and try to beat him.
Can you win the $100,000 here today, and why?
너 1억 우승할 자신 있는지, 그리고 왜?
그냥 우승은 생각하면 안 될 것 같고 그냥 편하게 해야 편하게 하면 뭐 우승할 수 있지 않을까 그렇게 생각해봤는데 우승은 좀 힘들 것 같아요. 그냥 카토비ce에서 즐기고 가겠습니다.
So he thinks it's better actually not to think about the 100,000. It's just about focusing on the game, trying to stay calm and just trying to do his best. And he says it's going to be actually really hard to win the 100,000. Like if he stays calm and it goes game by game, he might win it. But even if he doesn't, he just want to have a good time here and just enjoy it.
Well, great, congratulations on your win in the first round. Good luck tomorrow. We're going to send it back over to the expert desk so they can analyze exactly what happened.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kale. And San is our second player through to the quarterfinals. And gents, gotta say, Kalaris has got your number here, Sean, in terms of predictions. But was it as straightforward as it looked? Do you think?
I think that MC, I think Todd really and Ortos really nailed it down. Is that MC was making decisions that he never wanted to go back on, and that's that's MC's personality. He's like, all right, I'm going to do this, and there is no other plan. It's either going to work or fail. And from what we saw, it just didn't work out the majority of times.
From the San supporters club, he looks really strong again. He was great when we watched him before in Singapore. Went all the way to the final to play Hero in that game. Was 2-0 up, and we were sitting there thinking, this guy's a genius. He's got PvP fixed out, and then Hero obviously then went on to win. He's got to play him again now in the next round. Does he learn from those mistakes? Does he learn how Heroes play? Does he look at the game, or is this another game that Hero can really win and go on to the semis?
I would probably say so, yes. Aside from the PvZ that we saw from Hero, which was always very good, and his record is really good in it as well, his PvP is also up there. And he built his last two entire tournament wins on PvP, basically. So for San to come along, obviously he's going to have to bring absolutely amazing PvP to try and beat him. He showed it there quite nicely against MC, really forcing him to those uncomfortable positions that you mentioned. And, well, MC paid for it, so maybe Hero will.
Okay, final question, Sean, before we move on. We're going to have a quick break in a moment. San, in the world of Protoss right now, where does he rank, do you think?
That's a really good question. There are so many good Protoss players right now. Easily top 10, but I wouldn't go as far to put him top 5.
Okay. All right.
think that's my final answer. I buzzed that one in.
I'm not gonna get any more out of you, so we're going to move on in just a moment. Just a chance to remind you that you can play the prediction games that these guys are doing all weekend long, just for fun for us, but you guys can take it a little bit more seriously if you'd like. Facebook.com/IEM. Just go to the page, make sure you've liked the page first, and then find the tab for predictions. And you are open to predict on every single matchup that we have over this weekend. All day long, in fact, on the round of 16s. You can pit your wits against our experts and our commentators and see whether you come out on top. Last time round, you guys went for MC, not to be for the boss toss. He is out of the $100,000 winner-takes-all championship here at the Intel Extreme Masters. But San moves on to play CJ Enters Hero. Next up, though, on the main stage here in Katowice, it's a big one if you're a foreigner fan. It's Naniwa versus Pont.